Have you ever thought about the spiritual effects of smoking marijuana? While many people see it as a recreational drug or a way to relax, its spiritual consequences are often overlooked. In fact, marijuana has been used in various cultures for thousands of years, but not just for physical relief, also for spiritual purposes. From ancient shamanic rituals to medicinal uses, marijuana has long had a place in many spiritual practices. But what if the impact goes beyond the physical effects? What if smoking marijuana affects your energy, your aura, and even your connection to the universe? In this video, we will dive deep into the hidden spiritual consequences of smoking marijuana. We will explore how it affects your consciousness, your spiritual growth, and your ability to connect with your higher self. It's easy to assume that marijuana just gets you high and doesn't do much beyond that. But the truth is, the impact goes much deeper than that. When you use marijuana, it changes your mental state, but it also alters your spiritual vibration. It opens pathways in the mind, but these pathways aren't always beneficial. While it can offer a temporary sense of relief or insight, it can also have long-lasting consequences on your spiritual energy. One of the first things to understand is how marijuana interacts with your energy field. Your aura, the energy that surrounds you, becomes more sensitive when you use substances like marijuana. This is because it shifts your perception, your thoughts, and how you relate to the world around you. The question is, does this shift help you grow spiritually, or does it distract you from your true purpose? The impact on your aura is subtle but significant. Marijuana can lower your vibration. When your vibration lowers, you become more susceptible to external influences, and your energy field can become more easily clouded. This doesn't necessarily mean marijuana is bad in every case, but if used incorrectly, it can disconnect you from your higher self and lead you off course. Let's talk about another spiritual consequence of smoking marijuana. It can affect your connection to the present moment. When you smoke, you may experience altered perceptions of time and reality. While this may feel enlightening in the short term, it can create a false sense of detachment from reality. The present moment is where true spiritual growth happens, but marijuana may cloud your ability to stay grounded and focused on the here and now. It's not uncommon for people to use marijuana to escape their feelings or to numb spiritual pain. But true healing comes when we confront our emotions and face the challenges that come with spiritual awakening. Marijuana, in its excess, can create a barrier between you and the work your soul needs to do. While marijuana might allow you to experience temporary moments of clarity, it can also keep you from accessing the deep, profound insights that come from inner stillness. Rather than turning to an external substance to alter your perception, you can cultivate an internal state of peace and clarity through spiritual practices like meditation, breathwork, or mindfulness. These practices connect you to the real source of spiritual wisdom, not a temporary high. So, what are the hidden consequences that many don't talk about? As we go deeper into this video, we'll explore how marijuana affects your chakra system, how it impacts your emotional energy, and how it might create spiritual blockages. The aim is not to demonize marijuana, but to bring awareness to its spiritual effects, both positive and negative. In the coming sections, we will dive into how marijuana alters consciousness, how it can open up spiritual pathways, but also close others. You'll also learn how to use it wisely, if at all, and what you can do to protect your energy while maintaining your spiritual path. But for now, take a moment and reflect. Have you noticed any changes in your energy or your spiritual practice after using marijuana? Do you feel more connected or more detached? Let's begin this exploration together, because understanding these spiritual consequences can help guide you towards a more conscious and empowered life. As we continue exploring the spiritual consequences of smoking marijuana, let's dive into one of its most profound effects: how it impacts your energy field and aura. Your aura is the invisible energy field that surrounds your body, and it's a reflection of your thoughts, emotions, and spiritual state. When your aura is healthy, you feel energized, grounded, and connected to the universe. But when your aura is compromised, it can lead to feelings of fatigue, confusion, and disconnection. When you use marijuana, it alters your energy frequency and can cause fluctuations in your aura. While it can sometimes feel like a way to elevate your vibration or see the world through a different lens, in the long run, it can create energetic imbalances. These imbalances may not always be visible, but they can have subtle yet significant impacts on your spiritual life. One of the primary ways marijuana affects your energy is by lowering your vibration. Your vibration is the frequency at which your energy resonates, and it determines the types of experiences and people you attract into your life. When you raise your vibration, you align yourself with higher states of consciousness, creating more opportunities for spiritual growth and fulfillment. But when your vibration is lowered, it can attract negative energies, make you more susceptible to external influences, and cause you to feel disconnected from your higher self. This lowered vibration can also make it more difficult for you to stay aligned with your true purpose. When your energy is clouded or imbalanced, you may struggle to hear your inner guidance or connect to the wisdom within you. Instead of feeling empowered and clear, you may feel confused, distracted, or even trapped in old patterns. But it's not just your vibration that's affected. Your chakra system also plays a significant role. Your chakras are energy centers within your body that govern various aspects of your physical, emotional, and spiritual life. Each chakra corresponds to different areas of life, such as relationships, creativity, and intuition. When you smoke marijuana, it can create blockages or disruptions in your chakras, especially in your third eye chakra and crown chakra, the centers associated with intuition and spiritual connection. Marijuana may cause you to feel disconnected from your true intuition, making it harder for you to access deep spiritual wisdom. While some people claim that marijuana opens their third eye or enhances their spiritual perception, the truth is, it may only distract you from the clarity and guidance that comes from within. True spiritual insight comes when your mind is clear and your energy is balanced, not when your energy is altered by external substances. Another effect marijuana has on your energy field is the way it affects your emotions. Emotions are a form of energy in motion, and they play a crucial role in your spiritual growth. When you're emotionally aligned with your higher self, you create a harmonious flow of energy in your body and aura. But when you use marijuana to escape or numb emotions, it can create emotional blockages that prevent you from processing and releasing them. These blockages can stay with you long after the effects of the drug have worn off, causing emotional stagnation. Marijuana can also affect your mental clarity and decision-making abilities. When your mind is clouded or altered, it becomes more difficult to make clear, grounded decisions that align with your spiritual path. You may find yourself making choices based on temporary desires rather than long-term goals or spiritual growth. This is why it's important to be mindful of how marijuana affects your decision-making process and how it might cloud your spiritual clarity. While marijuana has been shown to have medicinal benefits, its spiritual effects are much more complex. The key to using it responsibly is to stay conscious of how it affects your energy, your aura, and your chakras. Instead of relying on marijuana to achieve higher states of consciousness, you can develop practices that help you raise your vibration naturally, like meditation, breath work, and connecting with nature. Marijuana may offer temporary relief or insights, but true spiritual clarity and growth come when you align with your authentic self, without relying on external substances. By mastering your energy and keeping your vibration high, you will naturally attract the spiritual guidance you seek. As we continue to explore the spiritual consequences of smoking marijuana, let's take a closer look at how it affects your connection to higher consciousness. One of the most profound effects of marijuana is its ability to alter your perception of reality. For many, this can lead to heightened awareness, creativity, and an expanded sense of self. But what happens when this altered state becomes a barrier rather than a bridge to higher consciousness? The idea of higher consciousness refers to a state of awareness where you are more in tune with your true self, the universe, and the divine. It's about seeing beyond the physical world and connecting with a deeper level of wisdom and insight. But marijuana, Though it can offer glimpses of this higher state, may also cloud your true connection to spiritual clarity. When you smoke marijuana, it temporarily alters your brain chemistry, which can result in heightened sensations and experiences. You may feel more connected to the universe, as if your mind has expanded and you're seeing things from a broader perspective. But these experiences are often short-lived. They fade as the effects of the drug wear off. In contrast, true higher consciousness comes from sustained inner growth, from practices like meditation, mindfulness, and spiritual discipline. These practices allow you to access deeper layers of consciousness without the need for external substances. While marijuana may give you a glimpse of this higher state, it can also make it more difficult for you to maintain consistent access to it. You may find that you're reliant on marijuana to feel connected, which can actually prevent you from developing the skills needed to access higher consciousness on your own. Marijuana also affects your clarity of mind, which is essential for connecting to higher consciousness. When your mind is clouded, it becomes difficult to discern between true spiritual insight and fleeting temporary sensations. You may mistake the altered state caused by marijuana for a genuine spiritual awakening, but the reality is, true enlightenment requires sustained mental clarity. Another concern is that marijuana can disconnect you from your inner guidance, that quiet, intuitive voice that speaks to you from within. When your energy is altered, it can be harder to hear this guidance, and you may find yourself feeling lost or unsure of the direction you're meant to take. Your intuition is a vital part of your spiritual journey, and when it's drowned out by external influences like marijuana, you risk losing touch with your true path. In contrast, practices like meditation and mindfulness allow you to quiet your mind and open yourself to divine guidance. These practices help you develop a deeper connection with your higher self and your intuition without the need for external substances to alter your state of consciousness. Another factor to consider is the vibration of marijuana. Everything in the universe has a frequency, including your body and energy. When you smoke marijuana, you introduce a foreign substance into your body that can temporarily lower your vibration. While marijuana can elevate your mood in the moment, it can also cause energetic imbalances that persist long after the effects have worn off. This can prevent you from maintaining a high vibration, which is essential for connecting to higher consciousness and spiritual growth. The goal of spiritual growth is to raise your vibration consistently, to align your energy with the frequency of love, light, and wisdom. Marijuana, when used excessively, can lower your vibration and create energetic blockages, making it harder for you to maintain a clear, open connection to the divine. The key is to understand that true spiritual growth doesn't come from external substances, but from within. It's about learning to connect with your true self and the universe on a deeper level without relying on temporary highs. By practicing mindfulness, meditation, and self-awareness, you can achieve a higher state of consciousness that is both lasting and authentic. Marijuana may offer temporary insights, but true spiritual clarity comes when you're able to connect to the divine naturally, without the need for substances. As you continue on your spiritual journey, remember that your connection to higher consciousness is within you, and it's always available once you learn to quiet the mind and listen to your inner guidance. Before we dive deeper into the effects of marijuana on your spiritual path, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our deep spiritual insights. Join us on this journey of awakening, because your spiritual growth starts right here. As we continue to explore the spiritual consequences of smoking marijuana, it's essential to consider its emotional and mental impact. Many people turn to marijuana to relieve stress, anxiety, or negative emotions. It's often used as a coping mechanism to deal with life's challenges. But while marijuana may provide temporary relief, it can also create deeper emotional and mental imbalances. One of the primary effects of marijuana is the way it alters your mental state. When you smoke, your thoughts can become clouded and your ability to think clearly may be impaired. While some people feel a sense of clarity or creativity during a high, this is often a temporary state. The clarity that comes from marijuana is different from the mental clarity achieved through mindful practice or deep meditation. True clarity comes when you are fully present and aligned with your higher self, not when your mind is influenced by an external substance. Marijuana can also affect your emotional state in unpredictable ways. It can cause intense mood swings, making you feel euphoric one moment and anxious the next. This emotional instability can have a profound effect on your spiritual journey. When your emotions are constantly fluctuating, it becomes difficult to stay grounded and aligned with your spiritual path. The ups and downs caused by marijuana use can prevent you from processing emotions in a healthy way. Instead of confronting and healing negative emotions, you may be using marijuana as a way to avoid them. This avoidance creates emotional blockages which can prevent you from fully experiencing personal growth. Your spiritual journey requires you to face and release your emotions in a healthy, balanced way. By using marijuana to mask your feelings, you're not allowing yourself the space to heal. Healing comes when we allow ourselves to feel our emotions fully, without trying to escape them through substances. When you rely on marijuana for emotional relief, you're missing out on the opportunity to develop emotional resilience and self-awareness. In addition to emotional instability, marijuana can affect your mental focus. When your mind is altered by marijuana, it becomes difficult to stay focused on your spiritual practices and goals. It's common for people to have deep, meaningful insights while high, but these insights are often fleeting and difficult to retain once the high fades away. Spiritual growth requires sustained focus and clarity. Without the ability to stay mentally focused, it's challenging to practice mindfulness, meditation, or any other discipline that supports spiritual development. Your spiritual practice should be a continuous journey, one that is rooted in clarity and consistency. But marijuana, when used excessively, can interfere with that process. Another aspect to consider is how marijuana impacts your sense of self. While some people feel more connected to their higher self when they smoke, others experience disconnection or dissociation. It's possible that marijuana, while temporarily opening the mind, can also cause you to become detached from your true nature. When your connection to your inner wisdom is clouded, it becomes difficult to make decisions that align with your soul's purpose. This disconnection can lead to a sense of spiritual confusion. You may feel lost or unsure about your path, unable to access the clarity that comes from deep meditation or reflection. Instead of moving forward in your spiritual journey, you may find yourself stuck in a cycle of seeking external answers, rather than connecting with the wisdom that resides within. True spiritual growth comes when you are fully present, when your mind, body, and spirit are aligned. Marijuana may offer a temporary escape, but it can prevent you from cultivating the inner peace and clarity that come from sustained spiritual practice. By turning inward and connecting with your higher self, you can access the wisdom and guidance you need to navigate your spiritual path. While marijuana may provide temporary relief or insight, true healing and growth come from within. By addressing your emotions, clearing mental blockages, and maintaining focus, you can cultivate a stronger connection to your higher self and deepen your spiritual journey. As we've explored the spiritual consequences of smoking marijuana, it's important to ask, can marijuana be used mindfully for spiritual growth? Is it possible to use marijuana in a way that supports your spiritual path rather than hindering it? The answer is yes, but with caution. Marijuana, when used mindfully and with clear intentions, can be a tool for deepening your spiritual awareness and opening your mind to new insights. However, it's essential to approach marijuana use with respect and awareness, as its effects on the mind, body, and spirit can be powerful. To use marijuana mindfully, the first step is to set an intention. Before using marijuana, take a moment to reflect on why you're using it. What do you hope to achieve with this experience? Are you seeking clarity, inspiration, or a deeper connection to your higher self? By setting a clear intention, you give the experience purpose, and you ensure that marijuana becomes a tool rather than an escape. It's also important to be aware of your energy. Before using marijuana, check in with your emotional and mental state. Are you using it to avoid discomfort or to numb negative emotions? If so, it's important to reconsider whether it's the right time to use it. Marijuana should not be a substitute for facing and healing emotional wounds. Instead, use it when you're in a balanced, grounded state and open to deepening your spiritual practice. Another key aspect of using marijuana mindfully is limiting your use. Like anything in life, moderation is key. If you use marijuana too frequently, it can create dependency, not just physically, but also spiritually. You may begin to rely on it to feel connected to your higher self, rather than learning to access that connection on your own. It's important to remember that true spiritual growth comes from within. While marijuana can provide temporary insight, it's essential to cultivate a deep, sustained connection to your spiritual practice without relying on external substances. One way to use marijuana mindfully is by pairing it with other spiritual practices. For example, you can use marijuana as a way to deepen your meditation. By using it in combination with meditation, you can access a more expanded state of consciousness and gain deeper insights into your mind and spirit. However, this should be done with clear intention and mindfulness. Make sure you're using marijuana to enhance your spiritual practice, not to escape from your current state. Another powerful way to use marijuana mindfully is by connecting with nature. Marijuana enhances sensory perception, so using it in a natural setting, whether it's a forest, beach, or garden, can help you feel more connected to the earth. Nature has a grounding and healing effect on our energy, and when combined with the heightened awareness from marijuana, it can create a deep sense of spiritual harmony. It's also essential to create a sacred space for your marijuana use. This means setting aside a space that is clean, calm, and free of distractions. You can light candles, play soothing music, or even use crystals to enhance the energy of the space. The environment in which you use marijuana can have a profound impact on the experience. By creating a peaceful, sacred space, you invite a deeper connection to the spiritual realm. Lastly, always remember that mindful use of marijuana requires self-awareness. Take note of how it affects your energy, emotions, and mental clarity. If you notice any negative effects, whether it's confusion, disconnection, or low energy, take a step back and assess how often you're using it. Reevaluate whether marijuana is truly enhancing your spiritual growth or whether it's serving as a distraction. By using marijuana mindfully, you can harness its potential to enhance your spiritual journey. But it's crucial to remain aware of its effects on your energy, vibration, and connection to your higher self. True spiritual growth comes from within, and marijuana should be a tool that supports, not replaces, your path to enlightenment. As we conclude this exploration into the hidden spiritual consequences of smoking marijuana, it's time to reflect on how we can find balance and wisdom in its use. Throughout this video, we've discussed how marijuana can affect your energy, emotions, and connection to higher consciousness. But now, the question is, how can we use marijuana mindfully without allowing it to disrupt our spiritual journey? The key lies in balance. Marijuana, like any substance, can be useful when used in the right context, but it can also be harmful if used excessively or for the wrong reasons. When we use marijuana as a tool for spiritual growth, we can deepen our connection to the universe, expand our consciousness, and gain valuable insights. But when we use it to escape from reality, avoid emotional pain, or numb our experiences, it can create energetic blockages, disrupt our spiritual practice, and lower our vibration. One of the most important steps in using marijuana mindfully is setting clear intentions. Before you smoke, take a moment to ask yourself, why am I using this? Am I seeking spiritual insight, relaxation, or relief from pain? Or am I using marijuana to avoid something in my life? By setting a clear intention, you bring purpose to your experience and ensure that marijuana becomes a tool to support your spiritual journey, not a crutch. It's also crucial to listen to your body and your energy. Notice how marijuana affects you physically, mentally, and spiritually. Does it help you feel more connected to your higher self, or does it cause disconnection and confusion? If you feel that marijuana is lowering your energy or making it harder for you to access your true self, it's a sign that you might need to take a step back and reassess how you're using it. Another key to mindful marijuana use is moderation. Like any tool, marijuana should be used in balance. Using it too frequently can lead to dependency, both physically and spiritually. Instead of relying on marijuana to feel connected to your higher self, it's important to develop a consistent spiritual practice that doesn't depend on external substances. Meditation, breathwork, yoga, and mindfulness can help you cultivate a strong, clear connection to your inner wisdom without needing to alter your state of mind artificially. And remember, true spiritual growth doesn't come from external substances, but from within. Marijuana may offer temporary clarity, insight, or relief, but the deep, lasting growth that we seek comes from cultivating inner peace, balance, and wisdom. By connecting to our higher self without relying on external substances, we empower ourselves to create a life of alignment and spiritual fulfillment. If you choose to use marijuana, do so with awareness and intention. Make sure that it serves your spiritual path and not the other way around. By using marijuana responsibly, you can enjoy its benefits while protecting your energy and spiritual growth. In conclusion, marijuana is not inherently bad or good. It's a tool that can be used wisely or carelessly. The decision to use it and how you use it is ultimately up to you. The key is to stay connected to your higher self, to use marijuana with clear intentions, and to always be mindful of how it impacts your energy, emotions, and spiritual journey. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you ever used marijuana for spiritual growth? What impact did it have on your energy and your connection to the universe? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video on how to elevate your spiritual path.